Why, hello there. Looking for Persian unarmoured cavalry, are we?
No.
Well, you came to the... Well, you're not. Okay. Anyway, we're going to talk about Skyrim for the next half an hour. Right, this is an unboxing video for Persian unarmoured cavalry from Victrix. As you already know, we haven't been uploading for a bit. And that has actually accidentally given us time to be able to show off painted figures along with the normal figures. So that's a good thing. The last few videos we did have all got painted figures on, so...
Now please don't tell me the sprues are exactly the same.
Right, this sprue is exactly the same as the last one for the Persian armoured cavalry, so we're not going to worry about that one. That's going to wander off over there because we don't need it. Right, what's important is the actual Persian... No, that doesn't work that way, does it? Actual Persian infantry. Sorry, infant bodies. Right, these are unarmoured. So they've got no armour on.
That's so crude.
That's straightforward, isn't it? You've got a nice little cloak to wear. That's very nice. Very snazzy. Very imperial.
Lots and lots of javelins.
Lots of javelins. They're big on javelins because these are light cavalry. Well, they're not light cavalry. They're cavalry that are...
Well, they're not exactly going to have heavy weapons, are they?
They're carrying more in the line of javelins and bows and stuff like that. That's primarily what they do. And they're for scouting more than anything else. Heavy cavalry are for actually going in and fighting. These guys will try and avoid going in and fighting as much as possible because they're unarmoured. That's why they're unarmoured. So they're going to scout, they're going to dismount and fight on foot if necessary, although they do not carry shields, so they're going to be in a bit of trouble with that. But they're primarily a scouting force rather than a...
And they could just do hit and runs.
Yes. In battle, they'll do hit and run attacks, or overrun the enemy if they're defeated, chasing down the enemy. So they're not light cavalry, but you can use the same figures to make them light cavalry and just equip them with javelins. Although Persian light cavalry, as in skirmish cavalry, they had the half moon shield usually, or a shield that looked like a squashed oval. I don't know, whatever. So we have a collection of interesting heads. That's a very interesting head. That's a very hairy head. And we have interesting different types of headgear, different types of armour. That's for the light cavalry. And that's for the normal cavalry. And that's the officer's helmet just there. In fact, if I angle the camera up a bit, you get a much better view of the heads. We also have the awesome axe that the Persians used, and the coppice, which is also an axe, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. So it's a sword that looks like an axe. It's an axe that looks like a sword, and that's basically about it, really. They're not. We've already done a video on the Persian armoured cavalry, so the figures are okay. They fit to the horse okay. We've had no trouble with them. Let's have a look what they look like done. So these are the chaps done. I'll just readjust to these guys. So these are the guys finished, and I've done them as unarmoured cavalry, so they're actually a cavalry base, hence they're 6 figures to a base for this particular rule system. And the light cavalry, we have some lights, and they're 3 to a base because they're really light, they're not medium. So these are pretty good troops. They're nowhere near as good as the heavy cavalry, but they are a nice fast moving unit that can deny an area to an enemy.
It's like to run over skirmishers.
Yeah, yeah. And the great thing about cavalry is it automatically disorders infantry, so that's a good thing, because disordered troops get minuses, and it makes the cavalry better, even though the cavalry aren't as good as foot troops. As far as the Greeks are concerned, a man on a horse is a man who is about to fall off a horse. As far as the Greeks care, it's a bit like the English, really. If a French knight turned up on a horse, then he fell off. And then he had to worry about getting up while a bunch of longbowmen went to find him. But yeah, that's Persian cavalry. And given the size of Persia, these are probably the guys who would turn up first. The sheer size of the Persian Empire, these are kind of your immediate fast reaction troops. So when you have to send an army in somewhere, these guys would arrive along with the light cavalry and form some sort of body of men until the Persian regular army can turn up. Yeah, we've got a scythe chariot, 2 scythe chariots as well, actually, which we're not going to do a video on yet because it's not an unboxing video.
No.
So yeah. Anyway, that's that. That's the Persian cavalry from Victrix. I think that's nearly the end of the Victrix stuff now, isn't it? We've got some Greek cavalry to do.
That's it.
And that's it. We've got all the Victrix range now for the Greco-Persian War. So we're quite happy about that.
Don't worry, as soon as we find some more, don't worry.
Oh yeah, if anything new comes out, we'll just...
we always find something.
Yeah. But anyway, that's that. So we do have, as I said, scythe chariots, but we're not stocking them, and they're just for our game. Not that scythe chariots were ever any use to the Persians. No. They were only successful in 2 battles. It's the only time they were noticed were in 2 battles. They would have been in Greece, but no one wrote about them at all. They were that useless.
I mean, against Alexander the Great, the men just formed a little pocket for them. They went straight into the pocket and then stabbed everyone to death.
Yes.
That was it.
Yeah, that's how you deal with chariots. Yeah, chariots are useless. There was a battle in Ionia where 2 chariots took part in the battle, and they managed to flank the Greeks by crossing a river. And that's all that's said about them. But they did run some men over, so that was quite nice for them. I'm sure these cavalry would have done just the same without needing the sides on the edges of their chariot.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all besides the point. That's it.
Yeah, so if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe and comment down below what you think of the Persian unarmoured cavalry. That's everything from me.
And everything from him. Goodbye.
See ya.